All right, so in terms of the top story today, Jon Gruden is out, and not a moment too soon. Good riddance. The league is better off without him. The autumn wind is a Raider, and the former Raiders head coach is a racist and a homophobe and a misogynist and probably just about everything else. Let's go back to Friday for a minute. On Friday, there was the report that he was using racist statements about DeMaurice Smith in an email. However, despite that fact, Gruden still coached on Sunday. He tried to claim that the racist statement was not racist and that he was just upset about the 2011 labor stoppage. And then he still coached on Sunday, knowing that there were more emails out there, and then yesterday, some of them dropped. According to the New York Times, in emails that Gruden sent to Bruce Allen, then the president of the Washington football team, he referred to the commissioner, Roger Goodell, using homophobic slurs. He used homophobic language to discuss the Rams drafting Michael Sam. The Times also notes that some of the emails between Gruden and Allen, which were sent to and from Allen's work account, including a guy who runs a college football bowl game and the co-founder of Hooters. So these emails are just flying around. In the emails reviewed by the Times, Gruden hits Goodell with a number of slurs. He seemed to be pissed about efforts by the league to reduce concussions, to employ women as members of the officiating crew, and to work for social justice. Apparently, he had a problem with all of these things. He said that Eric Reed, who demonstrated against police brutality, should be fired. He made transphobic remarks and suggested that the owner of the Buccaneers should perform oral sex on him. Oh, and let's not forget, according to the New York Times, Gruden, Allen, and others sent around photos of topless women, including a photo of two Washington team cheerleaders. So, just to recap, he's using racist language, homophobic language, transphobic language, and he's emailing porn. I mean, this dude just can't stop sending slurs and porn to Bruce Allen and the dude from Hooters. So last night, he issues a statement which reads, quote, "I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone." End of quote. Yet Tom Brenneman cannot believe that apology. I love that Gruden says he does not want to be a distraction, as if these emails were something that just kind of happened, instead of the reality of the fact that he was the guy writing and sending the emails. He was the guy swapping slurs and porn. How about him saying that he, quote, never meant to hurt anyone? My man, based on the topics you hit on in those emails, you were more than happy to slur and hurt as many people as possible. You're firing off emails to the president of an NFL team and the co-founder of Hooters and lobbing around slurs like they're screen passes. This guy was putting that stuff in emails for years. But he's allegedly, supposedly some football genius. Like, I'm not sure what's more insane, the content of the emails or the fact that we're allegedly talking about multiple emails over 7 years. Like, he just kept on firing off slurs and porn to Bruce Allen and the co-founder of Hooters. Remember when this guy was saying that he did not have a single racist bone in his body? Turns out pretty much every bone in his body was racist. Urban Meyer, having dinner with his grandkids, can't believe that Jon Gruden was up there saying he doesn't have a racist bone in his body. Remember when Gruden also said, quote, "I never had a blade of racism in me," end of quote. Turns out this dude was going crazy multi-blade action on that racism and homophobia and transphobia and more. This dude was a freaking Swiss Army knife of horrible takes and ideas. Again, I'm not sure what's crazier. Gruden claiming that Friday's email was taken out of context and that he was not a racist, or the fact that he went ahead and he coached on Sunday knowing that other crap that he had put into emails over the years was going to drop. Like if he had bailed on Friday or Saturday, there's a chance we're not even hearing about these emails today. And the team had to know that some of these emails were going to come out, right? They had to know by Friday night. And yet they still went ahead and they let him coach. What, they thought they could ride this out? And what's it say that all of this came up as part of an investigation into the Washington football team, but we still don't really know the results of that investigation. So honestly, there are a lot more questions than there are answers at this moment. I want to note, though, that I can't begin to imagine, for instance, what the last few days have been like for Carl Nassib or for any of the other Raiders or guys who played for Gruden over the years. Like, the guy that they were going to battle for was sending garbage like this out. There are reportedly years and years of these emails. Now, I know folks want to stick up for him over the weekend by saying that the DeMaurice Smith email was from 10 years ago. Never mind that being racist was not better in 2011 than it is in 2021. Or the fact that he was in his late 40s at that time. Or that those emails went on until at least 2018. And don't come in here to say that for a chunk of his time, he was not a head coach in the league. No, he wasn't coaching a team, but he was one of the faces of the league because of that Monday Night Football gig and all of those commercials. No, he was not a head coach at that time, but how many coaches in the league at that time were more famous than Gruden? Just like I'm not interested in hearing your galaxy brain level take that this year's Super Bowl halftime performers songs that had offensive language in them too. I mean, you're not really going to try that with me, are you? You're not going to try to go with that, are you? There is an enormous difference between a musical artist using artistic expression and a guy who is one of the highest profile decision makers in the league firing off garbage like that repeatedly. And if you can't tell the difference between a halftime performer and a head coach, then that's on you. And speaking of head coaches, Gruden has been a wildly overrated, crappy coach for years. This dude has been dining out on that Super Bowl win and his scrunched up face for decades. He has won exactly 0 playoff games since winning the Super Bowl. So what I'm saying is the Raiders are better off without him, and so is the league. And Jon Gruden did not get canceled. That's not what happened. There's a difference between being canceled and having to face the consequences of your actions.